Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we're talking about the new NARS holiday collection. NARS kindly sent me a few kits here. We've got eyeshadows, we've got face products. Let's go ahead and dive into it. But before we go any further, let's take a second to grab our iced coffee or a hot coffee. Let's take a sip and let's get started. As you know, I have my online beauty consulting service. This is a one-on-one video chat where I can help you purchase new makeup or skincare products for yourself. Also, I have a gift card available. So if you'd like to offer this to a makeup or beauty lover in your life, go ahead and click the link down below. Okay, so NARS sent me a couple of kits here. I'm gonna go ahead and break these down. The first one they sent is the Some Like It Hot mini lash and cheek set. So inside the set, you get a mini Climax mascara, a mini Laguna bronzer, and a mini Orgasm blush. These are three best sellers of the brand, so it's kind of cute to have just a mini version of each one. Honestly, a mini bronzer and blush goes a very long way. The mini mascara will last maybe a month or two, but as far as like value goes, a mini bronzer and blush is going to last you a very long time. The next set they sent me is the Instant Stardom Mini Face Set. So here you have a mini translucent crystal. This is a light reflecting setting powder. The pressed powder really doesn't have any color to it, but it does feel incredibly silky. It almost feels like it's buttery and sort of just fills in any pores I have on the back of my hand. So I'm really interested to see how this will look on my face. And they also have a loose version, but here you get a mini pressed powder. And again, as far as like mini pressed powders go, you're gonna be using it for a very long time. And then we also have the mini Behave blush. This blush here sort of lives in the Your Cheek But Better category, which is very exciting. And then there's also a mini satin lipstick. This is the Band Red color. This band red color is interesting because I wouldn't think of it as red. I would think of it as like a neutral, nudie brown, but I guess it does have red in it. Interesting. I'm not sure if it's going to go with the looks I'll create today, but we'll see. And I almost forgot to swatch the blush here, Behave. It sort of looks like, yeah, like Your Cheek But Better and like a dusty rose color. So I think this will be nice for today. And last but not least, they also sent me their holiday eyeshadow palette. So this one here is called Stargaze. As you can see, there are a lot of colors here. I think there are 12 in the palette, which I will admit is a lot. I am typically more of a quad, a quint lady, but these colors look beautiful. I am definitely drawn to this purple color. I'm drawn towards the purpley shades. And one thing I will admit is I purchased the Climax palette a while ago, and this one here is 9 shadows. And I love this palette. You can tell I love this 9 shadow palette here. It's very well loved. So I have high hopes. I am a bit skeptical of 12 shadows, but if it's the same quality as the 9 shadow palette, I think I will enjoy it. Now let's go ahead and swatch this entire palette because that way I can sort of come up with a tutorial. I think I'll do 2 different eye looks and I might separate, like this might be one and this might be one, we'll see. So here are all the swatches. I would say that these do feel very similar to the Climax palette that I talked about before. They feel quite buttery. I would say that the shimmer colors are really nice. They feel a little bit more grainy, but then as you blend them, they don't feel grainy at all. It's almost like when you first swatch them in the palette, you think it's going to be a topper shade, but when you actually swatch them, they're very, very opaque and very pigmented. So what tough choices here. I might do something purpley cranberry and something more brown. Tough choices. Everything that I'm going to be wearing on my face that I'm not mentioning and the makeup brushes, they're all going to be listed down below, so go ahead and check that out. I think I'm going to start off with this color here. It looks like a nice transition shade, and this here is definitely a matte. I would say that there's matte, some satin, and some more intense satin shine shadows. But that's a nice combination, and there's no topper shades. At first I thought some of these might be toppers, but No, they're just really beautiful satins. I'm going into this color here. This one is like a soft satin. It's not quite matte, but it definitely gives me nice purple colors. So I'm going to just add a bit more of this one here. And I'm just taking that same blending brush from before and I'm just blending this out. This is like a really dark purple. It's sort of like a really deep eggplant color. And I would say that as I'm blending it, it looks more matte. Like when you swatch it, it kind of looks like a soft satin velvet, but when you actually blend it out, it's matte. And then I'm just going to take that dark purple from before and just sweep it under the bottom lashes here. Now I'm going to go into this beautiful shade here. This is the one that has called my name. So just going to pick some of this product up. And I'm just going to sweep it here. I'm going to go into this color here with the same brush because I have a different idea of what I might do. And I'm just going to go ahead and cover this. And I have an idea of where this is going. I am getting a little bit of fallout now, which is fine. I can always correct it afterwards. Okay, so what I'm going to do is taking like a really fine pencil brush, I'm going into the lilac, like vibrant color here. I'm going to pack it on. And I'm going to go in the corner here in like the waterline and inner part of the eye. And I'm going to bring some of that color in there. It's a very interesting color. It's like a flashy sort of lilac purple. It's very, very pretty. All right, let's do the other eye now. Let's go into this color over here. Wow, this one's much darker than I expected. I think it's because I started with such a light transition shade before, but this one's really opaque. I may have to use another blending brush here, a clean one, just to diffuse this here. Perfect. Now going into this color over here, I'm going to knock off a bit more, and I'm going to place it in the crease here. I may in fact just go ahead and pack some on the entire lid. So my idea here for both of these looks, this one is the sugar plum side and this one is the spiced cranberry. That's my theme here for the holiday palette and these holiday looks. Now let's go into this color here and we're going to apply it all over the lid. This one matches these two colors very perfectly. It's just like the shimmer side to these colors that I used earlier. And again, I am getting a tiny bit of fallout more with the satin shimmer colors than the matte colors. I'm going to go into this brown here with the pencil brush I used before. It has a little bit of the cranberry colors that I used. I'm just going to go on the bottom lashes here and maybe just like a whisper in the crease. I'm trying to control my extra gene here. Now going into this beautiful gold color here, I'm just going to pack some on the brush and just bring some on the inner part of the eye here. It's going to give that beautiful like spiced cranberry gold look. All right, that's done. That's been cleaned up. Let's go ahead and use the Climax mascara. I've used this before. I know it's good. I know I like it. So this one here, what I like is that it leaves your lashes very soft. So if you're someone who likes to do multiple coats, it's very easy because the lashes never feel hard or stiff, so you can just reapply some very easily. All right, let's go into our pressed setting powder here. I'm gonna go ahead and use a little brush, a little of both sides. It's such an interesting texture because when you're swatching it, it feels very buttery, but then when you apply it, I swear it just like blurs. I feel like all the pores and everything just get filled in right away. It's quite nice. I do think it helped mattify a little bit as well. Now let's go into our mini Laguna bronzer. I love the cream version, but the Laguna bronzer is just like a bestseller for NARS. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit, even though it's a holiday look and there isn't too much sun happening in Montreal at the moment, but I'm gonna go with it anyway. Now for the blush, let's go into Behave. I mean, worst case, if I don't like it, I can always use Orgasm on the other cheek. Oh, but it's nice. It's like, at first I thought maybe it would be too light, but it kind of looks like your cheek, but better. I'm going to use Behave on both sides. Let's go ahead and try this Band Red lipstick. I'm not sure if it's gonna work. Worst case, I can always just take it off. I think it needs a bit of gloss. I'm going into my NARS Chelsea Girls lip gloss. This is like one of my favorite nudie lip glosses. Your Lip But Better. All right, I think this is our finished look. Vote down below, do you prefer the sugar plum side or the cranberry spice? I think I'm a little bit more partial to cranberry spice. I think that gold and cranberry shades mixed together is very pretty, but I do also like the purple. I think adding it in the inner corner here is really nice. I think they're both pretty, but I think I'm leaning a bit more towards this one. I think this lipstick here goes a bit more with this eye look here. So I think that's what's convincing me here. Listen, as far as the eyeshadow palette goes, it's really up to you to decide if a 12 shadow palette is for you. If it isn't, I understand. But if you're asking about quality, blendability, application, I think it's just as good as the Climax palette, and I loved that one. So if you want lots of variety, because you will get lots of choices here. I mean, it was honestly hard to pick which colors to choose for today's looks because I only have 2 eyes, but there are 7 days of the week. So I guess you can go ahead and pick a couple shades to use every day. And remember, if there are 12 shadows in a palette, do not use all 12 at once on one eye. That's gonna be way too much. Just do what I did, like use one matte and one satin if you want, and just keep it simple like that. But you're gonna get a lot of options. I haven't even delved into these like more brown coppery shades. There's a lot of potential. There's a lot of potential, and I think it is good quality. I think it's just as good as the Climax palette that I purchased earlier. As far as the Laguna bronzer, I love it, but if I had to purchase, I think I would go with the cream bronzer personally. It just is so natural, like Laguna 2 cream bronzer. Oof. This one here, it's just beautiful. It looks so natural. It just melts into the skin, but some people don't like cream bronzers. That was a lot of bronzer here, but this is what it looks like. And if you don't like a cream bronzer, then maybe the gift set with the powder is best for you. As far as the blush, I really like Behave. NARS, the Orgasm blush, I've used before. I like the Orgasm blush. I don't love it. I know some people, it's like their favorite. For me, it's okay. But I like Behave, where you can tell I'm wearing a little bit of blush, but it's like, is she wearing blush? Is she just flushed naturally? I love those blushes that just look like you, but better. And the lipstick Band Red, it's beautiful with the gloss. Like, honestly, put the Chelsea Girls gloss on top. Get that combination. It's beautiful. Like, look at this. It's like a brick red, but like more toned down. It's not as intense. And so I think this is a beautiful color for the holiday season. Like for this type of eye look here, it's gonna be gorgeous. And the mascara I liked when it first came out. I reviewed it several years ago when it first launched. I liked it then, and I'm honestly really pleasantly surprised with the loose powder. Wow, the pressed powder here, the crystal translucent powder here, because it is very blurring. Like I just find that it blurs any sort of texture. It mattifies a little bit as well, not too much, but it just sort of mattifies a bit. So it's quite nice. And like I mentioned earlier, getting mini versions of powders, of blushes, etc., it's actually a really good idea because unless you're someone who has like one blush, one powder, you're probably not hitting pan on that many products. And so getting mini versions, you actually get a lot of product. And if you travel, if you're on the go a lot, these are great minis to have. So this is it for the NARS holiday collection video. Let me know in the comments what you think. Have you picked these up already? Let me know which colors are your favorite in the eyeshadow palette and which looks you want to see me do in the future, because I will definitely revisit this palette in the next coming week. So let me know what shades and what looks you want to see with the NARS palette. Thank you to NARS for sending me this collection here, and thank you to you for watching me, because it is so wonderful and so heartwarming to see all of you tuning in and liking and commenting and engaging, because I wouldn't be here without you. So I really appreciate you and thank you so much. And on that note, I think that's all I have for you guys. So make sure you are subscribed with your notifications bell set to on so you can get a notification when I post the next video. And that's all I have for you guys for today. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.